Clay, how are you? Must be third semester in Kaufhold. He's a singer and
like, what are you doing blowing up my email?
Hey, I actually did go to a 7th grade award ceremony.
Really?
Yeah.
Out of protest, or just didn't know it was you?
Well, the list, there's a substitute teacher that day, and they sent out the list for the kids to get out early.
It's something that they're supposed to submit for you so you can register for the class. They just skipped over.
It just cut off.
Well,
It just cut off. And I was like,
No,
they wouldn't let you in for that reason.
well, the teacher wouldn't let me go to class. So I couldn't go to the 6th grade.
Well, that means you couldn't have registered for classes.
Oh my God.
They did quite a few people graduating there.
Yeah, it was pretty hard.
Yeah, I guess in retrospect, that's pretty hard.
Step back.
No, but at the time, though, my parents were so.
Before you get to the,
Yeah.
before you swim.
Oh, you need to talk.
2:30? Questions? Does that work?
2:30?
Do you guys have classes before or after?
I just did 12.
Yeah, so that'd be great.
Here, you will tell.
What? What story are you working on, or do I have from last week?
I have it done. I'll give it to you today.
What is it?
It's the color one.
Oh, cool. What do you need?
I did all you.
That'll be fun. We have lots of photos. Maybe we put them in.
So we'll see.
But someone told me to try something new there.
I think it's like 2 minutes. You're taking Japanese?
Oh, yes, I'm taking Japanese.
I can sound like a
No, that's fine. And then, was that the video you worked on?
Yeah.
So you want to put it on YouTube or Courseware?
Yeah. Well, you're a dude.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
I'm also allergic to how many shirts your tends to have a high content. Are you? You're a cheap drinker.
margarita.
You know what's the worst?
People look at me and I'm just like,
But you know what's really sad?
Rugby-wise, what's on the sale for you?
I love sweet drinks, but they give you the worst hangovers.
Clay went up and covered it for our East
And
guy.
wine's my favorite word. Wine.
Clay, I tried to not be too hard on you. So guys, how was, we have a nice turnout now that Professor Britton's done messing with our attendance. How was everybody's meetings last week? Who all covered like school board or some commission meeting or something last week?
do what?
Who all covered school board or a commission meeting or something for reporting last week? Kind of like, I'm so good. So what'd you cover?
I covered this LISD meeting.
Yeah, pretty exciting.
Nope.
School board or what?
It was the board of trustees.
So
Did you get to sit in the report?
Well, I asked him why we just skipped over the budget. He basically told me how they found a loophole to avoid the, what is it? Open records law.
Really? Wow, that's
He was like, we
sad.
have committees of 3 so that we can actually meet outside.
On purpose.
He's like, we do it all the time. Like, it's not a big deal.
Oh my God, so they're
He just
strategically,
admitted to it?
that's a good story actually.
And
They're
then he goes-
strategically skirting the law.
Yeah, and he goes, good observation. Like, they kind of like when you get a ticket and you thank the cop for giving you a ticket.
We get properly Okay, anyway, it was fine. Anybody who missed meetings last week, I should have emails from you. You may want to remind me, but those are excused absences on behalf of Professor Britton, so no worries. I'll catch up on my attendance if you happen to be over for, I'm not going to kill anybody just yet if they lost letter grade, but I'll update you on where you are, let you know how big your attendance has to be the last 4 weeks. Monday we will pitch stories again, so try to remember that. Today's going to be a pretty casual class, no readings. We're going to watch stories and critique each other's work. So we're late enough in the semester that you guys can be more merciless doing that. Should I just go in order? Who's not here? I think Anna did a story that's in here. No? Okay. So we'll see. Emily, are these yours?
Let me call her.
Nothing's up. What's that level 45 thing?
Shuttle.
Emily, these are yours, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's take a look. See if this makes anybody hungry. That was the idea of covering this. This is the International Food Festival.
Oh, really?
Yeah, are you sad that you missed it?
I actually would have went.
So what am I looking for in photos? What are some things I like to see in photos? And you guys both did photos.
Are you asleep?
What's that?
Like weird, not weird angles.
It's a good word. Unusual angles.
Yeah.
So
Not just like.
get up high, get down low.
Get up. Move the room.
Work the room. Okay.
Work the room, high and low angles.
Okay. Okay. And then
Stand on chairs. Get under tables.
Good.
Flop
Get
under
in the
tablecloths.
Couple more. Put the camera in the food, which Emily sort of did at one point. So that's good. Was the camera in the guacamole? I kind of like that. All right. What else? Two more things in photos. Here's a
Tell
hand.
tell a story.
Angles.
There's a hand.
Perspective.
With a view. Perspective.
Isn't
Isn't that what you're talking about?
foreground and background?
Foreground.
Yeah, that thing, exactly.
You
And
could have
then-
like this, you know. This.
Okay. I'm sorry, that was good. You're like, hide the camera? Is that? What else? If I could get a photo of Clay right now, I'd totally have one. You were like,
Something interesting.
Oh.
yeah, capture a moment. So let's look and see if we have those in some of the photos we got today.
Kodak.
Exactly. And by the way, okay, is this a moment? She looks pretty bored. She's like, I cannot believe you dragged me here to this event.
He's
But
over
the
there.
other
Yeah,
guy's
no,
not.
The other guy's smiling. It's not bad.
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't that fun? Isolating one guy, the other people are moving.
That guy looks
Yeah.
like a stranger. Just like staring at that.
You want to warn the girl in
Maybe
me?
he's just contemplating.
But still, it's an interesting photo. You know what else I like about this? Because it's International Food Festival, I like the flags in the background. It's kinda-
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And so that was kind of fun. Here's foreground, background, experimenting. Did the camera get singed on this one? Was it like really close to the heat?
I don't think it was that close.
Okay. Okay, all right. This one just totally made me hungry. This is the French pastries. That's a nice food shot, actually. That's kind of a Food Network shot. That
That's
one's
a
fun.
good shot.
That could be hung up somewhere.
And then I really like, this one wasn't bad. This goes with the crepes, the French crepes. Where's the guacamole one? Did I skip it?
International of fruit.
Okay, I like this. The camera down in the pan of guacamole.
That's cool. I love guac.
What could have made this a more interesting photo, a better photo?
Put a camera in it.
Putting the camera in the guacamole.
That
Next
would
time
work.
with this video.
Oh, dipping a chip in there. Actually,
Yeah.
that'd be weird.
No, you could scoop the camera through the guacamole and then bring it up to your mouth. No, that's not. What's the
Maybe
difference between art photos and journalism photos? Photojournalism.
Caption.
And?
Capture a moment.
So having some people in here would have made it more.
I was going
Somebody
to say.
scooping,
It's
so
like
like,
people
so the camera around the back shooting up at a face, shooting. So I like the shot, but always try to think about that. Try to put those things together.
I love guac.
And then a couple more. This is kind of a fun action photo. And again, down on the table, you're doing different angles. The blurry plate's actually kind of fun. And then just sort of an establishing shot. So this is actually a really interesting photo because of the angle. What do you guys think of it? It's a crumpled up napkin.
Oh, I thought that was duct tape or something. Wow.
Or maybe like a dumpling or something like that.
Yeah.
Or a flower.
Yeah, it's a really interesting photo.
Really ugly.
Again, I wish I had seen it of like food or people or something. But, Emily, to your credit, you got a bunch of shots that were really close, really narrow focal length, things in the foreground and background, stuff in the distance out of focus. You got a couple of action photos which were cool, where one person's not moving and other people are, or like the plate's blurry but the food's not. So try to experiment with stuff like that. And the easiest way to do it, Brianna, what's the easiest way to get photos you can use in your photo essay? Take a zillion photos. So let me look at the color on photos, as long as we're on that topic. Because you took, what, 500 some photos?
Oh.
Okay, it was pretty funny.
Good one there.
Yeah, that one's kind of cool. We'll start there and end with a sequence. There's a cool thing you can do with photos, with still photos, if you do a sequence. Sometimes you can do almost a little video or like a GIF with photos. So you can have image 1, 2, 3, 4 of the same thing and see a progression of something, like people approaching the finish line. So her photo essay kind of ends with that. I passed this yesterday on 84 going south at like 8 p.m. out of Lubbock.
They're going to Amarillo like that.
They were going the wrong way, I think.
Maybe they were leaving.
I don't know. I saw them going south. Maybe they were leaving Amarillo. That's probably what it was. Okay, so establishing shots. You sort of do some of the same things with photos on an event like this that you might do with video. So you shoot a sequence. You want like a wide shot of the crowd. Somebody tweeted, it was pretty fun. My other class, somebody tweeted, everybody in Lubbock is at the color one. There was a huge crowd out there.
14.
Is it cold?
I don't think so.
Yes, it was a little chilly.
So this is a moment, two people dressed alike, stretching, getting ready to run. Walking to the start line, I think. I love the hair, by the way. Like if your hair's going to be pink at the end of the run, why not start that way, right?
True.
Okay, this is kind of fun. Guns up. And we're underway. Okay, here go the runs. So where's the action on a run like this? Where do you want to be with the camera?
Finish line.
Yeah, or?
Down low.
It would have been cool to get like shots of like the feet running, just like the feet running. I don't know.
I think you have
Or
one.
like coming over the feet.
Wouldn't you have to be in the crowd to hit the feet?
But like, if you're
No.
like at the finish line, like.
You could be on the side near the start or finish around the crowd or somewhere. This run's a little different. So on regular runs, you start, you run 5K, you finish. Maybe there's a water stop. This one's unique because along the way it has these color stations where people hurl paint on the runner. And that's where the action is during the run. So something
And I
that
didn't
you
get to
might.
those unless I was running, so.
You were running it?
Volunteer.
This is a nice shot. I like how she captured this guy framed. It's a fun action photo. So that one's kind of, and everybody's in their colors. That is a big crowd. And she does get some people finishing. Finish is a trick because people are moving pretty quick. So here comes a guy approaching. Oh, this is fun. I like how she tells the story through the captions. It might be hard to read, but volunteers spraying runners with paint. And then this one I like a lot. What would I like in a caption of this photo? A name. See, I can totally see who she is. She's a fairly close-up shot. So yeah, I'd like to have an ID. We don't have one. But it's cool because she's standing there with the paint sprayer. It's actually a nice image. What would make this even more fun is the moment of her spraying somebody. It's pretty hard to capture because it happens so fast. I love how these folks are approaching and their shirts are all discolored and stuff. It's pretty fun. See, his shirt is just trash.
Oh man, you got him running.
Yep, she got a little sequence. See, like a 3-photo sequence of him crossing the finish, which is kind of cool. 4. And that's not bad. That's a nice little sequence. Same shot, basically snap off a few. This is a really nice image too. Covered in paint. Does the paint stick to your sweat when you're running? Okay, this one's fun. And there are a couple of these where it's an action. Look, her face is green. Yeah. So that's the kind of stuff I want to capture. This could be fun with the camera right down shooting past the cups. What I like is it's a moment because somebody's grabbing a cup or putting some cups there. And so that makes it a more interesting photo than without a person. Did anybody run it in tutus? I was looking to see if I knew that student, but I didn't. So it's pretty fun. And then, all right, here comes the sequence. This is kind of fun. So this is I think a 4-image sequence.
That's cool.
Yeah, this is a pretty neat sequence. So you can do this in a slideshow, and it's almost like a video sequence or a GIF, where it's like it animates through the 4 photos, and that's actually a cool way to finish. So that's a neat finish, and that's how you ended the story. I like that one. Some good details in the captions about how many people ran, where it was, what time it was, how much money went to health sciences centers and stuff like that. So it was good. Did we have, let's see, we have an audio story in here.
Mr. Burton thinks that the call run is a scam, and that there's something behind it.
I think it's a great story to try to get into, which is,
We said it could be a breakout story.
well, what they do is they talk about how much money goes to your local charity, and that's the only information they ever release. So nobody knows who runs it, how much money they pocket.
And someone is
I think it's true.
complaining about how they can't get anyone to do their run.
Casa.
What?
Awesome.
Awesome.
Oh, because of
They're
the
taking
time,
runners away from their
their fundraising event. Yeah, no, I get it. It's
They
tough.
need to just bring paint to theirs.
Well, I guess, yeah.
Basically, you're doing something good here.
if you add
You
shit.
should buy down. You should shut down.
Pretty much.
So Paul Austin, do we need to update these stories?
Company saving the cars. Not anymore.
Because it's heavy? We don't have to, it's
Well,
fine.
you had a
Yeah.
good Not anymore.
This is kind of an interesting story. So what happens if you want to do a story on all of our basketball coaches got fired except for the interim coach, Chris Walker? And the obvious people to talk to are Chris Walker or Kirby Hocutt, the athletic director. How likely do you think it is that they're going to talk to you?
Or negative.
Okay, especially in the story about we just fired the whole basketball staff and we won 3 conference games in the tournament. I mean, in the season this year.
Yeah.
Will you talk to us about that? And they're like, no, there's no way in heck they're going to talk to you about that. It's a heavy story. So they tried. These guys approached the athletic information directors. We tried to get some different people to talk. We tried a couple of back ways to get in. Of course, they wouldn't talk. We didn't expect them to. You guys found some nice, suitable alternatives. Josh Cook, despite being a student, has sort of made himself an expert in athletics at Tech over the last year. He was a good backup person to go to. And then we got some other folks.
Should have asked basketball players.
Could have found some basketball players. We tried to get them to talk last year when there was the whole controversy over the coach that got canned that brought Chris Walker in at the beginning of the season, and they wouldn't talk then either. That's pretty funny. I came up the elevator, and there were these 2 really tall students, like 6'10" students, 2 of them, and they get off, and as they're walking away, I noticed they have like matching Tech backpacks, and it was while all this was going on, I was like, basketball players. And I followed them, and I ran up, and I was like, hey, excuse me, weird question, but, and I asked if they do an interview, and they had been told not to talk to me.
Really?
Yeah, and so it was like they weren't allowed to discuss
But see,
it.
they would be so much more willing to talk to like students, especially.
Well, as I said, I said, would you talk to some of my students? And they're like,
Yeah, hey,
Bada
would
bing,
you
bada
like to
boom.
go to Jimmy's with
yeah,
them?
I think you inviting them to Jimmy's would have been much more inviting than me asking them. to
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
especially
Okay.
if I were like,
Okay. I wasn't going to go to Latin, but yeah, okay, that's what I'm saying.
just to get it before.
So anyway, these guys found some able alternatives. Wouldn't that sound like you want to hear in a story about basketball coaching? How about some basketball? Austin story.
Texas Tech fired its entire men's basketball coaching staff, except for interim head coach Chris Walker, on March 16th.
Who's now out of
Josh Cook, the sports director for KTXT, says he thinks the move was made because the staff was brought in by former head coach Billy Gillespie, not Walker.
And in the end, it was just Walker that was kept. Because usually when you bring in a new coach, they want to bring in a new staff with them.
Sean Commons, a Tech student, says he also believes the move was made for the new coach, and that Walker should retain his position.
Chris Walker's going to be the next head coach. He'll probably be announced here soon, I would imagine. But I just don't see another candidate that really stands out outside of himself to take the job.
Yep.
So I'm going to interrupt just for a second. You get an expert source, you need some other source, and an obvious one is basketball fans. Where do you find them? At the rec playing basketball.
Bodrick Hunter, a Tech student, says Walker should stay as head coach because he also won a Big 12 tournament game, something Gillespie did not achieve.
He did pretty good. They won the first the Big 12 championship game against West Virginia.
Tech improved to 11-20 overall and 3-15 in conference play. Neither Walker nor athletic director Kirby Hocutt were available for comment, but Hocutt has met with 4 other candidates along with Walker, according to sources. Cook says whoever becomes the new head coach should be someone who puts Tech's program on the map.
Next head coach of Texas Tech basketball needs to be someone that's bought into this program for hopefully 5 to 7 years, that can build this program and build it back to a winning tradition. I think it needs to be someone that can take Texas Tech basketball back to the top.
What do you think? Got good gnats on the interview, obvious place to talk to those folks. I like how Josh doesn't even say, I want to get a permanent coach. I'd just like to get a coach that can come 5 to 7 years. Like, it's sad because Tech's not even trying, unfortunately, to keep people for the next 20 years and build like a big national program. this guy they just hired, though, I think is an interesting coach. So interesting to see where we're going. Exactly.
Tubby.
It's a quick hire, too, which is interesting. I think
Yeah.
maybe our weather was an easy sell after Minnesota. I don't know.
Probably.
Okay.
Good job.
So let me look at a couple more photo stories. Yeah, let me look at a couple more photo stories. This is kind of interesting. How do you like that shot? Isn't that cool? So this is a Honduras trip. It's a trip to go down and help this poor woman who'd lost her house, rebuild her house. It was the mission trip that Sydney took over spring break.
Yes.
So while you guys were all partying in Cancun, she was helping this poor woman build a new house.
Okay, cool. Field trip.
Okay, thank you. Good
Where
work.
she told me
Um,
body she met.
Oh my God. Brown cow.
So embarrassed.
So it's an interesting mix of photos. I'll rescue you, Sydney. This is kind of interesting. They got there a couple days after her house burned. There were still things burning, and they got there to rebuild this woman's house. And so it's kind of an interesting story. They met with her. They say a prayer at the beginning. This is a nice moment captured with the house.
I know.
And then, of course, they start building. So first step, they got to go flatten this thing. So Sydney risks her life by walking in front of this building. To get these. What Prof said, exactly. And then this one was great. This was the woman's Bible that got burned in the fire. And it was a Spanish-English Bible that got burned. Well, at the end, and I kind of like this, here's another nice image. Here she is enjoying her new Bible that was delivered by the students and the folks who came.
What a sweetheart.
Yeah, isn't that nice? So that's another nice moment, and I like that. That's kind of an interesting image. And then I'm guessing you can still smell smoke and stuff in here.
Well, he was covering his face because like there's a lot of like when they were removing the dirt around and stuff, it was like
A lot of
blowing
dust.
everywhere. Yeah.
He wasn't from London, was he? Okay, and then of course you want some action photos. You want some people building stuff. And they got that. And then a nice photo. You got to put the light socket in somehow. And then here's her finished house, which took how many days to build?
It took like a day and a half to do.
Okay, that's pretty fun. But here she has a nice place. It's flattened ground, and so she's going to be in out of the elements. And then there's the building. So again, seizing on the opportunity, you were already going on the trip, and I like it. You mentioned the couple of schools where the students came, some details about the house. It was Honduras, and so you have some good details in there. One more photo essay. Let's see if I can find it. Is it in here or is it in? Might still be in this.
Gotcha. Yep. That's my arm right there.
Was it the drag show photos? I think they're not published yet. Let me go look at the drag show photos. Are kind of fun, but I'm going to go look at the Toys for Tots photos real quick.
Typical photos.
I didn't do the photos. Glozell did the photos. I did the video.
Typical journalist. Letting go of journalist.
All right, let's see. Yeah,
What's the email for the YouTube?
it's news presentation 2 at Gmail, number 2. Okay, here we go. So, Toys for Tots photos, which I think was Sibby and Casey, right?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to pick on you guys. Let me go through these and tell me what you think. So again, we'll think about the things we're looking for. Tell me if you like the photos, what you like, what you don't like.
Is that Sips?
Yes.
Ow!
Who wants that dog?
Me. You're so fluffy.
Whose was that? Was that Emily's guacamole can? That's what I'm going to call that from now on.
Yes, I got in the barrel for you.
Okay.
Did you really?
I really climbed in the barrel.
Did you really? Did you get the photo? Yeah, because otherwise you can't see the display on the camera. Very nice. All right, so what do you think? So it has some of the stuff we like.
Oh, thanks, Corley.
Okay, there you go. Good save. So I'm going to pick on you guys a little bit. I like this one. I would like to have seen more of the poster and more than half your head. So in a couple of them, some missed opportunities. But I like that you guys were. This one's kind of fun. Again, might be more interesting with some people in it. I do like, though, that you got up high, down low, climbed in a barrel, sat on the floor to get photos. So that's cool. You got some neat images. This one's a lot of fun. How might this one have been a little... And again, good instincts on this photo. Good focus in the foreground. If a kid, the other thing is if you just rotate the camera around a little bit to the right, you're going to have less chair and more toys and more dog. So again, some things are sort of half cut off, half a face, half a dog.
Oh, chair's not a donation.
Yeah, see, nice try. Good save, Ken.
Like a lava game, you know?
So I'm going to lean on you guys a little bit more. You're getting closer, but I want you guys to put the pieces together. So get foreground, background, get weird angles, but also get people in them, capture moments, do it all at the same time. So I want you to start thinking about, this is a fun photo. It's would have been funner with the toy dropping, and don't stage photos.
Yeah, we just had problems because there was no toys.
Nobody donating, right?
Yeah, and
all right.
so we kind of had to create our own.
No, I get it.
You want to go to Walmart? I went to Walmart.
What?
All right, let's see if, Lego, I have to go to, Lego, I have to go to the MCTV to find your story.
Yes, because I'm uploading it right now. It's on 74%.
No problem. So let me do that. See, it would have been Thursday. Presidents and toys. Here we go.
Okay, why is yours working? The videos aren't working.
Yeah.
On what?
Maybe it's the operator.
It's like Adobe's not updated.
Yeah.
That could be.
It's very upsetting because I want to see this coach missing
It
out.
needs
all
an
the
administrator's password.
Okay, video storage. Remember what we're looking for?
Mike Rice, look it up and do it.
At least two stories, say dog, see dog. We want some natural sound. You want to have video sequences, introducing people, certain framing on interviews, rule of thirds. Let's keep all that in mind. And here's Clay.
Info about this week-long event. Info about this week-long event.
The Texas Tech Activity Board is hosting a week-long Toys for Tot drive that ends tomorrow. Tyler Ray, the outreach coordinator for the drive, said the board is trying to take advantage of toys from Christmas that have been forgotten.
Some of our members are really passionate about kind of doing one this semester, and so I thought that maybe this semester it would work out well just because people usually aren't used to this, and if any children might have received some toys at Christmas that by now in March they don't play with anymore, that this would be a time that you can gather them up.
Ray said there are 10 different collection bins across campus and various buildings. He said they have good plans for the toys collected.
Well, there is a location in Lubbock that is actually a Toys for Tots location that you can go over there and you can give them all the toys and they'll distribute them whenever they see that they need to do it.
According to the Toys for Tots website, their goal is to collect toys for the less fortunate to open on Christmas. This can be dropped off at many locations across campus until Friday afternoon. I'm Clay Elmore for MCTV.
Okay, what'd you think? Wait, let's catch Amy in like that wide-eyed. Okay, what'd you like? What didn't you like?
I liked it.
What'd you like?
The car at the beginning.
Yeah.
The car at the beginning, which was on a shelf at Walmart? No, that's bad. No, we should only have toys from the Toys for Tots place. It was clever to go there and shoot it, but now like the raft of toys in your shot where you're referring to it, the whole shelf, that was fun.
I didn't like,
But it's
when I was interviewing him, I didn't lock the camera down, so it kept tilting up on me.
I guess
when
what
he
happened.
was right here.
Yeah, a lot of headroom, and the camera's like right at his chin.
I didn't notice it until the last question. I looked at it and I was like, oh no.
Yeah, exactly. No, it happens, and I guess that's what happened. It was good framing. I mean, it was rule of thirds, other than I could tell the camera setup. These tripods just drip.
He worked with the equipment that he had.
Yeah, and those
Nice.
mics suck.
Yeah, you need to be aware of it. One of the cameras, I checked out Vixia number 17, which I will remember now forever, to go interview President Nellis, and the audio didn't work. And then the camera turned itself off after a while and turned it back on, and the audio worked. And then later I turned it off and turned it on again, and the audio didn't work. It's like, what is that? It like cycles on and off.
Yeah.
So you really have to be careful when you're shooting.
Sketch.
So yeah, exactly. It's all sketchy stuff, but you got to watch out. But yeah, you saw it, getting the habit of checking it. His audio was pretty good. Was he wearing a wireless mic? I mean, a lavalier mic? Okay. So you can say it either way because it didn't see. So either way, the right answer is yeah.
See, I don't know if it's this, but the lighting didn't look good on. Did it look good on your computer?
No, he's a little dark, but I think it's partly because the camera tilted up into the light. And so the camera re-rastered, which is another problem. Did we have a sequence on that guy? You did. You had a nice video shot introducing the guy, which I like. And so you want to get in the habit. Remember the say dog, see dog, when you introduce somebody, I want to see him doing something other than the
that ends tomorrow. Tyler Ray, the outreach coordinator for the drive, said the board is trying to take advantage of toys from Christmas that have been forgotten.
Okay, he cuts through his hands, right, for what, a second and a half, 2 seconds? Can't see his hands in the interview shot, so it's not a jump cut. Yeah, see how it works out with a nice video sequence introducing him. Here's a cross shot of him. He's not talking. He's sitting there doing something else. Close up of the hands, cut to the interview, problem solved. So that was actually a really nice textbook video sequence going into an interview. Say dog, see dog. So thanks, that was nice.
Jump cut from, you know, he was talking and he had his hands crossed, and then onto his hands. Is that considered jump cut?
It could be if you're paying that close attention because his hands are out in front of him.
Drive that ends tomorrow. Tyler Ray, the outreach coordinator for the drive, said the board is trying to take advantage of toys from Christmas that have been forgotten.
Some of our members are really passionate about kind of doing one this semester.
Funny, close enough. So how do you come out of it?
Maybe this semester it would
The
work
other
out
trick
well.
is when you come out of an interview, if I see this guy again, and I don't think
children
we
might
do,
receive
that
some
would be a
toys for
jump
Christmas
cut.
that by now in March they don't
I
play
think you
with
cut
them.
to the toys on the shelf or a bin.
Ray said there are 10
So see, there
different
you go.
collection
You cut
bins
to a
across
collection
campus
bin.
in various buildings.
And problem solved. Video tip, I like the shot down the shelf of toys, but you could have played with that here. One of the problems you had is nobody was donating. So like in November, people are donating to Toys for Tots, and it's easier to get this, but now nobody's thinking about it. So it's different because at Christmas time, it's on people's minds, and so they'll actually be participating. So it's hard to get video of anything other than an abandoned bin, and that's the trick. What stand-up could you do on a story like this? Yeah, but how could you put toys in the bin? What stand-up could you do on a story like that? Take your camera to Casey.
Oh, you hold the toy, you're walking, you put the toy in.
Okay, that's a good one, exactly. You could walk in with a toy and you can say there are 7 bins like this all around campus, and they'll be collecting toys right up through Friday. Boom, and then you cut away. You could even like drop it in there and have the net sound and something like that. What else could you do?
He's looking at you, Casey, so what happened down there?
What else could you do with the stand-up on story?
You could get in a barrel.
You could climb in the barrel. No, you could actually put your camera in the barrel. And you could start with a 2-part stand-up. You could walk up with the toy in your hand and start a stand-up.
And then finish it looking down into the barrel.
Exactly. And then the last shot could be, they'll be collecting toys till Friday. Boom, and drop the thing right on the camera, and you could end your stand-up like that. So whenever you have something like a bin, a mailbox, recycle bin, dumpsters, you can stick a camera, refrigerator, you can put a camera inside those things and play with stuff.
Good.
And it's cool because you can flip the monitor over on the side so you can see yourself, Tim.
Could you like have it going?
Absolutely.
Come out of the barrel, say your bit, then cut to the interviews and stuff, and then like have one of the guys throw you a toy and then go back in the barrel at the end.
You could,
Like
and I would laugh. Yeah. It's pretty fun. You could be like, you know, you could also have Casey be in the bin again and like walk up and the hands come out and take the toy.
Yeah.
You could totally play all that stuff. You should do.
I like to have fun when I'm doing reporting.
I should do an assignment. And when I taught TV news reporting, I had an assignment where it was just stand-ups, and I would strongly encourage students to do like multi-part stand-ups. And that's what they did. A lot of goofy stuff. Does anybody know Evan Janssen? So Evan does sports now here. I think he's at KMAC, and he did a stand-up for that class a couple years ago. And he did a story about those things you can buy on TV for your house, all kinds of stuff from TV commercials. And one of them was a chin-up bar that just hooks easily into your door frame. And so he's doing a stand-up in a dress shirt and tie, doing chin-ups. So he's like, you know, you can get things like this, and it makes keeping fit really easy. And I'm like, he's talking so unstrained and comfortably. I'm like, what's going on? And if we looked really closely, you could totally see his legs bending. He was standing on a chair while he was doing the chin-up. It was pretty funny, and we busted him, but still, it was good. All right, Greg Show. Let's go look at this one. This one's kind of fun.
Wow. Nice wrist.
By the way, you don't have to do this, but look, Sibby, was this you?
No, this was Gloria.
Roxy? Was you?
It was Gloria.
Okay. Gloria's not here. Look at Gloria's captions. Captions are over the top, but lots and lots of detail, which I like. So, Glozell, is that her? Okay.
We call her Glozell.
Nickname of the week.
That's gonna be her show name.
Forever.
Whenever she's like,
Oh,
Oprah.
good turnout.
I wanted for somebody to play, I was dying for somebody to play with the fact that the drag show was a day or two before we introduced President Nellis in the same room. And I just thought that would have been fun. But nobody went there.
Rainbows over
Exactly.
there wasn't rainbows in there.
Okay. She's sort of setting it up. She's talking about what time it was, where it was, how many people showed up, what it's for. So she has some good detail in there. Getting ready. There's the stage. Roxy, we'll get to your video in a minute. It's pretty fun.
Is it?
Drag show. Okay. Can you feel the anticipation?
Yeah.
Are you tense? Okay, and this one, when you take flash photos, you get this. You get washed out in front, dark in the back. You can tweak it a little in Photoshop.
It was so dark in there.
Yeah, and you'll see when they start performing that there are spotlights on the stage, or the stage is pretty well lit. And that works. So like, see, she's lit. This is the host introducing it.
He?
No,
It's a
she.
girl.
And she actually hosted. She performed too.
Yeah.
And so it got easier when folks appeared, and this was tough. This could have been cool with a long lens, but even from this distance, you can totally see the show. Wait, that was, wait.
Wow. Hi.
Yeah, Roth.
I like how
Bohemia Rothschilds, that's what I was
Yeah,
talking about.
Bohemian Rothschild.
Yep.
I like how
Bohemian.
someone taking a picture of me.
Okay, was this the photo you guys were laughing so uproariously at?
Nope, nope, nope. You just wait.
Okay, I'm not going to loiter too long on that photo. Your video has the funny scene.
The video has a funny scene. It's
Here's another good one.
Try to play it on loop.
That's a nice moment.
Well, you weren't here.
Does anybody want to say a penny for your thoughts? Does he not want to be there, or is he thinking all kinds of things he shouldn't be thinking?
I think he's wondering what's.
No, I'm laughing because she's howling, and he's just sitting there like, oh my God, get me out of here. It's pretty funny. But this is nice, actually. That photo has the camera almost on the stage, which is kind of cool. And it was tough. She got to walk around, but it was tough in the crowd. Once the lights came on, though, it got a little bit easier. This is nice because the face is pretty sharp. And that's a nice image. That's a nice moment captured. And another nice one. See how sharp the face is? Not quite there, but close, and you get the motion of the dancing. So that's kind of fun.
Really looked like what?
Okay. And then, again, a funny moment, like clearly up there howling, singing, and it's pretty funny. And then the end of the show. This one looks like it was tweaked with the sharpen tool. Have any of you guys used that unsharp mask sharpen tool? Because you can kind of see it. This image feels like it was sharpened a little bit. So it's probably like a little blurry from all the applause.
What's up with the girl on the right here? She's.
This one's not happy to be
And
there.
then is that Oprah?
Is that? Oh no, that's Bohemian. That's Bohemian. Okay, anyway, that was kind of a fun event, worth trying to shoot with photos. It's tough because
Oh, are you going to see my video?
tough because it's so dark. All right, the obvious.
It was so dark in there.
The obvious next story. This
And
is
they
kind of
told us
The
not to
Texas
move
Tech
around.
University Drag Show brought a
They told you what?
The Texas
They told us not to move around.
See, that's clearly limited.
Tech University Drag Show brought a diverse crowd to the Fraser Alumni Pavilion on March 21st. Both amateur and professional drag queens performed at the show, and some even received a standing ovation. Bohemian Rothschilds from Lubbock, Texas, has been performing in drag for 17 years, and says she was excited to perform for the first time at the Texas Tech Annual Drag Show.
I just think that it's great anytime you can give back to the community. I know how hard it is to go to college and to have to worry about money, and if I can help anyone get an education, that's wonderful.
$8,000 was raised at the event and was donated to a scholarship fund established by the Parents, Family, and Friends of the Lesbian and Gay Community organization and will be given to a Texas Tech student. Stormy Smith, the Vice President of Campus Tradition and Leadership Development from Big Spring, Texas, was elected into her position in October and started planning the event in November. Smith says this was her first time to organize, attend, and perform at the drag show.
You don't have to be lesbian, you don't have to be gay, you don't even have to be a transgender like to come to the show and have fun. Like when we all went, like Nobody on my committee was gay. Like, we're all straight, but we had like the best time out there. So it's like, even though it's a little bit out of your comfort zone, give it a try. You might like the result.
Really?
What did you think?
The only thing that I wanted, like, because it was so good, was like at the beginning, you know,
The
when
Texas
you show
Tech-
different ones performing, like if there was sound. Like, you know, there was that one girl, I don't know if she was singing or talking, and that was all falling, you know?
Yeah.
If you could have got some sound there, I'd probably kill it.
Did you have sound or was there none?
When I checked the battery, it like turned off the camera.
Apparently part of the show.
Part of the show
And Bohemia
did
likes
not
that.
have any sound.
Yeah, that's.
I was excited to perform for the
But
first time.
she did, but she was
She was what?
just like.
She was struggling.
Not the best singer?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a very good point, especially on a story like this, that's like a performance event. You really want to hear sound, you want to hear soundful singing. Also, one source in the story. Oh, we talked to Bohemia. She was great with the eyelashes. How could I forget her? Okay, yeah, so you were good. And you talked to the right person. You talked to the organizer who also performed in it. What about going into and out of the organizer's interview?
Oh, I probably shouldn't have her talking. I should have. I don't know.
So let's see if we have, I believe, a jump cut on Bohemia.
For the first time at the Texas Tech Annual Drag Show.
I just think that it's great anytime
So
you get back to the
Bohemia has
community.
changed
I
not
know
only
how hard it is
locations
to
but
go to
clothes.
college and to have to worry about money. And if I can help anyone get an education, that's wonderful.
$8,000
But you needed a
was
cutaway
raised
so
at
that it
the
wasn't a
event
jump
and
cut.
was donated to a scholarship fund established
So
by
good
the
St. Augustine,
Parents,
all of
Family,
these
and Friends
donations.
of the
We see
Lesbian
a
and
reference
Gay
to the
Community
P flag,
Organization
which is
and will
good.
be given to a Texas Tech student.
And then
Stormy
you have
Smith,
3
the
shots
Vice
in a row
President
for I
of
like
Campus
this shot,
Tradition and
although
Leadership Development from Big Spring, Texas, was
what I'd have
elected
done, I
into
think, is
her
use this
position in
shot to
October
introduce her
and started
instead,
planning the
because
event
that other
in
one was
November.
essentially the same
Smith
as the
says
interview frame.
this was her first
Cut
time to
away for a
organize,
second or
attend,
two.
and perform at the drag
And
show.
then to the interview. So those are both jump cuts. She's standing outside, Josh is on stage, Josh is standing outside. So those are back-to-back jump cuts. You guys get it? Does that make sense? Okay. So you want to get away from her altogether. Somebody else performing or a close-up would have got you out.
About money,
But
and if
otherwise,
I can help it.
no real issues. So I think that's it. I think I'm done with stories. So any other questions, concerns? I try to keep revisiting similar stuff so that you guys remember when you're out in the stories. You better remember. Okay, no problem. I can help with that. If I don't have your stories yet, it's okay. I told you last week, make sure we get them in this week. Monday, you will pitch stories again. And we'll have a reading on Monday, which I'll email out details about. It should be simple. So, all right, have a good week. Enjoy the cold weather.
How many more stories do we have? 3, right?
Hang on a second. We have 2 more. Let me see if, I don't think he's around. Let me see if Dr. Cummins is around.
Oh, should we all say hi to him on the video?
We could all go wave at him through the window. I'll tell you what, if you want to do this, and you have time, walk over to the radio station, wave at Dr. Cummins through the glass.
And say Dr. K did good?
No, go be honest and answer his questions. But go see if he has a few minutes to talk to you guys, and if he has questions. It's entirely up to you what you say, but take the opportunity. Thank you. So if you don't have a class at 9,
This guy is supposed to, like, you know, sit in and watch the class.
you know how we always supervise each other every semester? So Dr. Cummins, the only time he could really do it was today, which is why I'm videoing the lecture, but he can't because he had to be on the radio show.
Video?
But if you have 5 minutes, walk around to the radio station and see if you can meet with him somewhere and talk to him about it. Thank you, guys.
Am I angry with anyone today? Nope.
Yeah, you and Casey at 2:30, please.
Ride solo.
What are you doing?
Ride solo.
Ride solo.
Those should match.